Am I really live though? Or does it just think I'm live? Because the last time I tried this, it just kept spinning. The circle kept spinning. Yeah. Give me a minute or two here, and then we'll start this unannounced broadcast. Look at this. It's not real champagne, but it's good enough, right? I have a couple of show notes, and then we'll get started. All right. See if we can get somebody in the live chat so I can pop out. It doesn't seem to be such that I can type anything because I don't know what I'm doing. All right, 3 people. Here we go. All right, this is the 1,000, over 1,000 now, because it was actually a couple weeks ago that I hit 1,000, and I probably could name this video how to skyrocket your way to 1,000 subscribers in a little over 7+ years, because that's how long it has taken me to reach that number. Not that that was an aim or a specific goal of mine, but it was nice to finally attain it after all this time. This channel started, if I can go back, and we'll get to the champagne in a second. And if anybody, I guess there's no way of telling me, but again, I'm a little concerned about the live chat here because I can't see anything. So if somebody wants to try that out, I would be ingratiated. Anyway, I won't worry about that right now. If we go back, this whole thing started because of Guns, Dice, and Butter. Now, I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it's a great podcast, or was a great podcast, and a war game podcast, and couldn't get enough of it. The guy just wasn't doing enough shows frequently enough for me. So one day I got tired of waiting for a show, and I thought, instead of just relying on this person to put out content, maybe I could put out my own content. I can do it whenever I want. I don't have to rely on this one person to enjoy wargaming news, etc. So, but I was a little intimidated about how to run everything. And my nephew, I was at his dorm room one day watching hockey, which the Blues are done. They got swept by Colorado. Congratulations, Avs. I knew you would, but it still sucks. And the Blues are a completely depleted, injury-riddled team. So not a good yardstick to measure your success against Colorado. But congratulations. So was at my nephew's dorm room, and he had just finished a podcast for class because he was going to communications, getting his communications degree at MU. And I said, what just happened here? What did you just do? and he had his laptop open and hit a couple things, and boom, he was done. And I said, "You just did a podcast here?" I had first time I had ever seen anybody do one, and in my imagination, to be able to put a podcast out entailed so much equipment and so much knowledge and so much experience and so much hands-on technical ability. It doesn't. Well, a little bit maybe, but I thought, I could do that. So I put two and two together. And on October 30th of 2013, a little silent, scared, meager voice spoke out into the world. And that began what has now gone on for over 7 years, right? So that turned into, well, it started out as a podcast. I guess, I don't know what you call it, if it's on YouTube, a video cast. And I probably went a good 30, 40 episodes before I started doing some actual videos. I think it began with some unboxings, maybe a couple of reviews at the beginning, but if you'll notice, you never see my face or anything. And there's a reason for that. It wasn't just I was intimidated or camera shy. I really felt like, and this is unfair to you guys, I really felt like having heard my voice for so long, you probably had a certain image of what I looked like in your head, and the reality of it could never match up to what you had built up imagination-wise. So I didn't want to feel like I was letting you down by showing myself, but eventually these videos that I was doing, it became more of a hassle not to be on camera than to be on camera. So I just gave in and let myself be seen. And guess what? Nobody cared. It was no big deal. Go figure. So that began, I think I ran through about a good 50 podcast episodes. And then it kind of trailed off podcast-wise and then went on, again, with the reviews and playthroughs and unboxings, a lot of unboxings, things of that nature. Anything else? Let's see what happened from there. I had a little stint, and I'm sorry this is me oriented, but it kind of is, so bear with me here. I did the War Game Company thing for a while, H&S Games, the apex of which resulted in this thing, which I'm very proud of. A boxed release, limited edition. There wasn't a lot of these. I had to, my brother's company, we had to design the boxes, and I had a guy out of Germany working with me on the graphics and getting them placed for printing at the company in St. Louis, CL Smith. Thank you guys for that. And the components inside, everything. That was the apex of H&S Games. I had a couple releases after that, and then I got out of the war game business. It was fun for a while until it wasn't fun anymore. I was releasing product just to release product to keep my company relevant, and that's not a good reason to release things. You want to be inspired and feel good about what you're putting out, not like you're obligated to put something out. So I finally put the wraps on that and focused primarily on this channel and the Facebook page, which is an enigma to me. This Hexes and Soldiers Facebook page, I really don't understand why so many people respond to it. I don't get it. I mean, there's not really anything creative that I'm doing. I post news updates and things of that nature. When I try to put something creative on there by way of something that I have written or things of that nature, nobody really seems to give a crap. So I sort of steered away from doing that. I just post happenings and goings-ons in the wargaming world. Anything I find interesting, I share with you guys, and that's been a fairly nominal success. I've got more subscribers on that page than here, which is a little irritating, but who cares, right? So that's that. That brings us back to this channel. And again, after 7+ years, my God, of plugging away and just still going at it. But over 300 videos now, which I'll be the first to admit, they're not all gems. but over 300 plus videos, and I would say 90% of them are from the heart inspired stuff, and hopefully that shows and comes out in said videos. What else do we have here? Yeah, I already went over that. So we'll make sure I get these preliminary things out of the way. I went over that. I want to say officially, which I haven't done yet, thank you guys for your support. It's not just, well, it feels good to reach 1,000, but it's not just about that. It really is the journey along the way, and what's honestly kept me plugging away for this long, and who knows how much longer I'll do this for, I guess until it's not fun anymore. But what's really kept me going is comments, and knowing that a majority of the stuff, at least that I do, is of some benefit or entertainment use to somebody out there. So I appreciate the feedback there. And you know what, honestly, I guess I appreciate all feedback, not just a positive feedback, because there is a such thing as constructive criticism, and there's no way to improve or do better if you're not getting, call it negative feedback, but preferably we'll call it constructive criticism. So thank you for that as well. I want to also thank, and I don't want to get into too many specifics because then I risk leaving out folks that probably should be verbally called out and thanked as well. There are a lot of you. And at one time, believe me, I knew all my subscribers by name, but once you get to a certain amount, it gets hard to do. And I will add that whenever somebody subscribes to this channel, I always, at least of late, I always make an effort to subscribe back to that person as a way of saying thank you. Even if you guys don't create content or put anything out, I still subscribe to the channel that subscribes to me as a kind of way of saying thank you. I would also like to say specifically, Dan Pancaldi, give you a shout out. There was an interview that he did with me a couple years back that drew a little attention to this channel, and that's appreciated as well. I mean, I don't know why he decided to interview me. There's 10,000 other more interesting, people that folks who subscribe to his channel preferably would want to see, but I'm appreciative of that move. Let's get into this here. What do we have? We have some Bon Ami. I don't know what Bon Ami means, and again, I don't know what's going on with the live chat because I can't type anything, so I don't know why that is. So once again, I'm faltering with my technical ability here. It's kind of a drag not to be able to see what anybody's typing. But let's see if we can open. Well, Bon Ami. I was going to say, if anybody knows what this means, send a shout out and let me know. But I wouldn't be able to read it anyway because that whole thing. Welcome everybody who has decided to join. Again, thank you to all. Thank you to those who will watch this later. For those of you that are bearing with me on a Sunday evening, I know you guys got anything else to do, but it's appreciated. So, Bon Ami, Blanc de Blancs, Brut, or as some folks might call it, Brut. That Brut's awful dry stuff. All right, here we go. We're going to pop the cork and hopefully not spill everywhere. And I should probably prepare accordingly for spillage. So let's spill on the floor and not the desk, right? All right, here we go. See if we can scare the hell out of the cat. Maybe hit the camera. There it is. I killed some miniatures. That's. Yep, I blew a rifle off there. I got some casualties from that. Fixable though. Oh, I lost it. Where'd the rifle go? I lost the rifle. There it is. Oh, it's still on there. All right, so I got to fix that. So we have one casualty. That's not bad. Chalk up one victory point for me and none for the French. Let's see how this brute stuff is. And my, what is this? God, I poured this like an idiot. Alice in Wonderland glass. I don't have champagne flutes because I'm not fancy pants like that. Fancy pants about some things, but no champagne flutes. It's got like a pink. It's probably from the light. Looks like it's got like a pink color to it. All right, let's see how this goes. Cheers, y'all. Not sure what's up with the shaking hand. It's a little too sweet for me when it comes to. I understand it's not real champagne. Way too sweet, not dry enough. But it'll do. And I don't plan on drinking all this tonight anyway. So I apologize for those of you who thought I would beer bong this in one shot or whatever, but not going to happen. Let me check something here real quick and see if I can fix this live chat. I'll try to do this quickly. Well, I think that's a lost cause. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see if we can roll through old school style, just like the old days. Old days being the early days of this channel, when I would run through what's new, what's coming out, pre-orders, etc. It's not awful. And we'll go that route. So when I do this on my own, the first place I hit is M&P, see what they have going on. And the main thing that's caught my eye of late is their Hollow Legions 3rd edition. 3rd edition. I think I have the first that I bought used. And we'll probably pull the trigger on this 3rd edition because everything in it is going to be improved. The counters in the edition I have are going to be with the smaller graphics, and I think they're all warpy. It's unpunched. I think they're all warpy from being so old, so I'll probably pull the trigger on that. Any other pre-orders of note that I should mention? I think Victory Weights has been sitting there on pre-order forever. Still, looks like they're looking for 550 of those, and they've only taken 478. Got a new Gettysburg game coming out that I'll pass on. No offense, but it looks like kind of a dumbed down thing to me. It's probably a mean thing to say. And it's not a bad thing. Race for Bastogne. Now, this is the GTS game a la Where Eagles Dare, Devil's Cauldron, and The Greatest Day, which I had on pre-order and canceled. I won't go into why. It's personal reasons. I don't need more wallpaper, and that's what some of this has become. Panzer's Last Stand looks good. Then we have North Africa Standard Combat Series. So this Dean Essig stuff really is, NASL really is M&P's bread and butter. Without that, I don't think we would have an M&P. Sword and Fire Manila, a big ASL, historical ASL pre-order coming out. I will not purchase that. The geographical area that is being fought over, for whatever reason, does not interest me, so I'm passing on that. And Third Winter, is that not shipping yet? So they want 550 pre-orders for that. They're up to 843 on those. So it looks like a lot of folks are excited and ready for the Third Winter. That's M&P. We have, let's go to, GMT is probably the best when it comes to updates, what's going on with the company, as far as communicating that stuff, right? So if all you got to do is subscribe, and you get all these fantastic emails from them, from Gene. So the last update was May 21st from Gene. News from Gene. And it's quite... His updates are fairly lengthy and thick. I mean, he goes into a little bit of everything. and it takes a bit before you get to the juicy stuff. So what I usually do is just I skip a lot of stuff and just scroll down to the. You want to see the new P500 editions, and it looks like we have a Stalingrad 42 expansion. Players 8, I should mention, did a decent interview with Simonich. If you're interested in that, I have a link to that on the Hexes and Soldiers Facebook page. No plug intended. Trumvir, what else? Charioteer does not look good to me. A Jest of Robin Hood. I've heard a little bit of verbiage about this Robin Hood game. I don't know much about it, but it looks like something original. Obviously, the topic is not overly done, in my opinion. So maybe check that out. That could be cool as far as new stuff. And then we get into Peloponnesian War, second printing, Helen 44, second printing. And again, I have a bit of a pet peeve with GMT and their second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth printings. I don't understand why they don't just print more to start. They have second printings that come up so fast. It's almost like they should do a P1000 or a P750 or something. All right, scrolling through that, new P500s on the horizon is always worth looking at. Another new coin card bot update backpack. A new design from Rick Young, a new game focusing on the Cold War crisis. A new World War II Europe strategic game from a couple of award-winning designers, and something new and cool from Ted Racer, or Ted Racer. Anything else we need to know about GMT-wise? Yes. Then we scroll down to, or at least I do, and I'll get to the bugbear in a second. Shipping now, Dark Summer Normandy 44, Storm Above the Reich, Wing Leader Legends expansion. We got a half counter sheet for 1914. Updated maps for the last 100 yards, airborne over Europe. Our next charge will be next Wednesday. Looks like 1846, Space Corps Ventures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then here's my bugbear, right? At least for my brother more than me. Mr. President, who my dear brother has had on order for, I don't know how long, since probably 1983. It's just stuck in perpetual 6 to 10 months. So it says, in the art department, anticipated shipping 6 to 10 months will vary by speed of art completion. Now, they must have the slowest art department on the planet, or this game is going to have the most fantastic art ever in the history of wargaming. Either way, they are taking their sweet time with this game. And just for giggles, keep an eye on that every time you get an update from Gene. Look at the Mr. President, how it's just stuck spinning its wheels. It's confounding how that occurs like that. As far as checking other things, we have. It's always good to check board game. Honestly, y'all, I don't go to Consim World. I don't know why. I used to hit it up every once in a while. I definitely don't do I've never done the Consim forums. But Board Game Geek is always good to check. I go to Dashboard because they have this stupid introductory screen that you have to endure before you can see what you want to see, which consists of ads and padding on the back of channels and whatnot, but it's all junk. Hit Dashboard and scroll down to subdomain forums. You want to look at war games, click on recent and see if there's anything fun there. Solo Systems AI recommendations, operations plan 3, 1903, mystery counter. That's always fun. Somebody finds a counter, they post a picture and want to know what game it goes to. And usually the response is fairly quick. Somebody's war game journey, etc. It looks like nothing overly interesting here. Oh, here's another Quisling thing. So Peter Bartlett is a gentleman that works for or represents MMP, and he will post updates for M&P on Board Game Geek. I'm not sure how that's really allowed. It's kind of just advertising. I'm not complaining, but it almost seems like you get better updates from M&P through the Board Game Geek subdomain forum than the site itself. Anyway, you can also check the M&P Facebook page for anything interesting there. Every once in a while, you'll catch a glimpse of something in the works. I think they have, as we head there now, I think the most interesting thing of late that I saw posted was, let me find it. M&P's hosting a lot of third-party channel, second-party channel unboxings and reviews. I'm seeing Ardwolf's Lair listed here among other folks. They're working on, as soon as I can find it, the next installment. Here it is. The next installment of, no, that's not it. I was going to say they are continuing the Grand Tactical Series D-Day. I think it's going to be a trilogy now. I know they are working on the second release still. Adam Starkweather, who was involved with that, has since moved on from M&P, which is in fact old news, but his GTS stuff still continues via other names. So for instance, you have Operation Mercury, which the system is Adam Starkweather, but the game is not designed by him. So you have, who's the designer here? I should know this. Anyway, it's not Adam, Sir Adam. But so that's news and noteworthy. And again, I'm just running through what I typically do on my own. When I'm hunting, especially for posts for the Hexes and Soldiers Facebook page, I check all these things, try and keep abreast of news and whatnots. For those of you have been following along of late, I've taken a kind of left turn into the world of historical miniatures stuff as I look out over the Warlord Games, Epic Battles, American Civil War setup I have over there. In fact, I just did a video unboxing the cavalry and some other stuff, Iron Brigade, Zouaves. But I did finish some cavalry, which I'll get to in a second. Well, not in a second, in another video. And that worked out nice. So it's nice to see some cavalry out there on the battlefield. But I bring that up by way of, and that, honestly, this company is, I admit it, they're like the Walmart of miniatures stuff. But Warlord Games, they got a lot of content. And for somebody just looking to get into miniatures or looking for accessible stuff, I mean, you have Bolt Action has been a bread and butter of theirs for a while now. Anything Black Powder, so you've got Napoleonic stuff, Black Seas, a lot of folks like that. Not a big naval fan, but I can see where people can get into that. Pike and Shot, Renaissance stuff, Hail Caesar and SPQR. Then your Epic Battles, and I've already stated this, but my hope is that they go further down the road with this, assuming they get enough success before they completely blow out and beat a dead horse with the Civil War stuff. I'm hoping they get into Napoleonic stuff. I doubt they do. What they will most likely do is probably Ancients, or maybe even 100 Years War stuff. Probably Ancients. I doubt they hit Napoleonic stuff soon, although I would be elated if they did. We have whatever the hell Erewhon and fantasy stuff is. I don't even know what that is, sci-fi crap. So there's that. I always check Warlord Games out. And for those of you that have just joined, to recap, I can't get the live chat to display properly. I've fiddled with it enough to know that's not going to happen. short of leaving you guys hanging while I try and figure out what's going on. So anybody posting comments, I won't be able to see them until after this video. I apologize. Kind of a one-man show here, more of a monologue than a dialogue. And again, I apologize. What else is there to look at? Did Warlord Games. I'm going to give a shout out and a nod to, and this is also miniatures related, Callistra Limited. So again, with the miniature stuff, right? It's not just about the soldiers. It's about the terrain you have to place them on as well. And I guess a easy, cheap way to go about it is that, you know, being the era that we live in, we are able to print out gigantic war game mats. So there's a lot of nice war game mats available. But Callistra has, granted, they're hexes, and you guys have seen videos of this. So some of you may not like the hex thing, but you know, I think it allows you to use them if you want. And if you don't want to use hexes and want to use measuring sticks or tape measures, you don't have to conform to the hexes. So you have options, right? But Callistra Limited is doing good stuff. Now, it's not the cheapest stuff, but it is quality. And the shipping is super fast considering it comes from England. I thought I was going to have to wait 3, 4, 6 weeks for this stuff to arrive. I think it came within a week. So that was amazing. And again, the stuff looks great. So that's just a kind of a quick drive around the war game companies and whatnots. And that's just, again, a way of kind of sharing with you what I look at and keep track of. There's a couple of, sometimes people ask about war game magazines. There are a couple of things worth keeping track of. One being Against the Odds magazine. They've been doing stuff for a while, and the games you get with these magazines are just almost too good to be in a magazine. I mean, they're that good. And again, I just posted this on the Facebook page, but if you look at the Against the Odds site, they have a game that has already been released. It's the Beyond Waterloo game, which is kind of a what if Waterloo game. They're redoing it, and I don't have this, but I've been curious and come close to getting it. And so they're going to upgrade the components, and it's going to be like a deluxe thing. Look at that for those of you interested in a Waterloo, quality Waterloo game. Anything else? A number of magazines. I think we're due for an ASL Journal here at some point. And Battles magazine is always worth looking at. As I head to that site. Let's start with the next. What is the current issue is? I don't know what this is. What is this? It says, and these also have games included. So if you can get past the hokey illustration on the cover of this, it says 1936 Miracle of November, Storm over Madrid. So that is the current issue of Battles magazine. As I steer away from that and this whole what's going on with companies, back to home. Looking forward for this channel, I don't really know what direction I will end up going. Again, I've definitely steered more from the board game thing to the miniatures thing, but this is not my first foray into the miniature stuff. Had I started this channel 2 years before I did, 90% of the videos you would be watching would be Flames of War. That was what I was doing for, among other things, that was what I was doing for, again, a number of years. Just ran it into the ground. I got boxes and boxes of Flames of War stuff that I painted and whatnot. That's what you would have seen. So again, this Napoleonic stuff that I've been dancing with, and the Epic Battles, Civil War stuff, again, that's not my first foray into miniatures. but it is a significant departure from what you typically would normally see on this channel. And I don't know how long it'll last, if it'll lead to more of the same, or if I'll have to try and like divvy it up between the two, because I don't want Velveteen Rabbit syndrome to happen to this stuff. But again, I bring that up by way of looking ahead on this channel, looking to the future, not sure what to expect or what direction I will be going, and I kind of like it that way. You know, I don't want to announce something that I feel like I have to adhere to because I've announced and made a big deal about it, and that's not fun for anyone. So I kind of like to leave it open as far as what I'm doing, and that allows for my whim, my interest, which is all over the place, to respond accordingly, almost instantaneously, to interests that pop up as they pop up real time. So there's that. One other thing, actually a couple other things I'll get into. And again, a big thank you to everybody. This is the 1,000 plus subscribers edition, which makes me very pleased and happy. One other thing I'll get into, at least one other, is for those of you that have considered doing what I and so many others do, and are on the fence about it, there's no reason to be. Again, this is not overly taxing or hard to just share what's on your mind, present your thoughts about a game or how something plays, or just sharing yourself playing something. It just adds to the war game community. There can never be enough of this stuff. So don't think you're going to be just a cog in a wheel of more of the same. It's not like that. You know, this whole community that we have with the content creators has plenty of room to grow. It will. And for those of you, again, that are on the fence and thinking maybe I'll do a video, you should be a part of this, be a part of the community. And it adds to the entertainment for all of us. So for those of you that get tired of hearing the same voice, like say, for instance, me, let's put more stuff out there so we have more options. Maybe you think, you know, the stuff I'm doing, nobody wants to see. You'd be so surprised, the people that are out there that have similar interests to you, and you think you're the only one that has an interest in that thing. You're wrong. And you might be doing those folks a favor by sharing what you do. So I totally encourage you guys to get off your duffs. And even with these things now, there's no reason to be not creating content because you don't have a fancy, expensive camera or a fancy, expensive microphone. This is everything you need right here, just your phone. And you can film and post things. It's not complicated to start a YouTube channel and join the fun. I mean, I've already said, as have others, this is another golden age in wargaming, thanks in part to the technology that has presented itself and made itself available. We can behoove ourselves to make use of this technology and use it to promote and further our hobby, so that others can benefit in kind. So I totally encourage you guys who are perhaps intimidated about creating content or sharing. If you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to be. You can still show what you're doing. I totally encourage you guys to do it. And there are a lot of, speaking of which, there are no shortage of, it looks like it is termite season officially. We get these from most of termites. And I was wondering when they were going to start swarming. It looks like it has begun. So where I live, as I live in a drafty shotgun house, these things inevitably find their way in. And the only way to combat them is to kill all the lights and endure it. And this goes on for, when the heavy swarming happens, it goes on for like maybe 2 or 3 days. This is in New Orleans, right? These Formosa termites, they don't do technically any damage. And they don't sting you or bite you, but they're annoying. And the cat thinks it's great because it's like flying toys everywhere. But that was the first Formosa termite I've seen here in a minute. And it's a little late in the season, but every year they swarm, man. And when you step outside and see the lights, they're just everywhere, like murmurations of these things, and just like schools of fish that are doing this. Anyway. Obviously, I digress as I pour myself another glass of this cheap Whole Foods Bon Ami, or Bon Ami Brut, which is a wannabe champagne. It's really more like a kind of a carbonated Chardonnay than anything, which is irritating, but that's what you get, right? I'd love to know what you guys are drinking, but again, the live chat is defunct, and yay, YouTube. So, what else? I kind of lost my train of thought there with the termite thing. I expect more kamikaze termites will be bombarding us, as this is where all the light is. I would add that what happens when you reach 1,000 subscribers? And I've always wondered this. Yeah, there's another one. So I may have to kill this soon. What happens when you reach 1,000 subscribers? I'm going to kill this slide, actually. When you reach 1,000 subscribers, did I catch him? No. Ooh, there's the second one. So yeah, they're swarming now. When you reach 1,000 subscribers, you get a congratulatory. Not a lot happens, actually. It's not like this fantastic, the secret handshake, part of the Insiders Club deal. YouTube does not consider 1,000 subscribers a big deal. I understand. I get it. That's fine. I don't even know, at least what I've read, I don't even know that YouTube, in the grand scheme of things, considers 10,000 subscribers a gigantic deal in the grand scheme of things. But for some of us, 1,000 subscribers, including me, is a huge deal. And what happens when you reach 1,000 subscribers? Well, you get this congratulatory email. The one I got was, it's a bunch of bananas that are it's like a stop motion animation thing. And it says, this is Bananas. We always knew your channel would do this great. I'm sure you did. Yeah, it took me over 7 years to get here. You always knew. Okay. Congratulations, you've reached 1,000. But that's not it. You get one other thing. And this is kind of cool. Actually, two other things. You can live stream with a mobile device and not be connected to your computer with a cord, which back in the day for me was a huge deal because I was having all kinds of trouble live streaming. I won't get into that now, but there's that. The other thing is you get these, the ability to do what is called community posts. And that is just like a quick snapshot of a thought or an image or even a video that is just shot out there. And you might come across these from other channels. It's something different from a bona fide video that you upload and post. Again, it's just kind of like a quick, hey, what's up for your channel, which is cool because those will come in handy. So look for some of those from me in the future. In fact, I think if I just did it correctly, I was able to post my first community post. So 1,000 subscribers was reached 2 weeks ago, and they gave me the community post ability today, right? So I made use of that and posted, hey, I made 1,000 subscribers, and thank you, and thank you. One final thing before I go, because the bugs are coming, and I don't want to belabor the point. We have 1,000 subscribers, yay, that's the point. When it comes to filming these videos, for those of you that are curious, for those of you that are maybe looking for something a little more than the phone, look into these Logitech cameras. You can get them on eBay. I know there was a shortage for a while during the early days of the pandemic because nobody had anything to do other than sit at home and film themselves complain about the pandemic, right? So that created a run on these things. Grab I think this is like a 9 something HD as I look at it, 9, I don't know. Look into these though, they're fairly affordable. I bring this up because if you're like me back in the day, you've got this conception in your head that you need like a bona fide camera, like a physical camera that you take, $1,000. You don't. You just need one of these little guys. And it hooks directly to your computer. And if you really want to get fancy, you can get one of these, which I don't even know if the mic's working, Yeti microphones. This is probably one of the best as far as affordability microphones you can get for improved audio, because the audio that you get on the mic with this little guy here leaves a bit to be desired. It's not awful, but leaves a bit to be desired. So for those of you that are looking to up your game a little bit, that are past the beginning stages, I would look into that stuff. Also, you have these ring lights that attract Formosa termites. I recommend those as well if you like Formosa termites. And yeah, you can up your game a little bit. So that brings us towards the end. I don't want to just drone on to be droning on. Again, the live chat is dead and defunct. I don't know what I've done or why. This has happened in the past, and I was able to kill the stream early on instead of just going and get it back up. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I apologize. It would have been great to interact with you guys. But time is of the essence, and I needed to get this video up. I probably should have done this a couple weeks ago when I hit 1,000. But I thought if I don't do it tonight, it's going to be another week. And then, so time has a way of getting away. And so, yeah, again, thank you, everybody. It's now a little over 45 minutes, so I'm going to cut you guys loose. Thank you, everyone who has subscribed as we get another termite. This way. This way. No, not in there. Okay, he went in the bedroom. I guess he's tired. Thank you, everybody who has subscribed. Oh, there he is. Thank you to the Formosa termites. And just thank you. Here's to the future of the channel. Hopefully I can entertain you guys, continue to entertain you guys with more edge of your seat, nail-biting content. And that's about it. Just thanks, guys, honestly. It means a lot. And be safe and be nice to each other. Bye-bye.